going to take you right to a news conference happening right now on Milwaukee's South Side. Milwaukee Police bringing us up to speed on a new carjacking theme.
As for some of the tips that I can put out so that you're aware and can protect yourself, I had handed out a list, and some of these of which I'd like to explain. You get in an accident, of course you want to pull over to the side, but when you pull over to the side, make sure you leave plenty of room so that in case you feel threatened, you can pull out and escape from that situation. Don't be in a rush to get out of the vehicle. You've just been in an accident. It can be a traumatizing thing to many people. Take a time to take a breath and look around at everything's behind you. Generally, these accidents have been happening in the back from behind. So take a look in the mirror and take a look at the people that are inside the car. That can actually give you an assessment on what's going down. Second thing is sort of look for some warning signs. If a passenger gets out of a vehicle instead of the driver from the vehicle that strikes you, that may be a warning sign, because why would the passenger be coming out instead of the driver? Or if a number of people start coming out, again, that becomes a warning sign. Or if you see some sort of aggressive action either by the driver or some of the occupants as they're coming out of the car, like rushing up to the car, then I would sort of become fearful and start wondering what's going on. If the person comes up to your car, some of the things you can do is protect you. You can lock your doors. You can speak through a partly opened window and say, hey, I'm not really comfortable being here. Let's go to a more public spot. Public spot can be a parking lot where there are a lot of people around, or a parking lot or an area or stores that have security cameras where you feel a little bit safer. If it reaches the point where you actually feel threatened, where you think that they're robbing you because some of these actions, I know a lot of people are worried that this is a hit and run, that you're supposed to stay at the scene of an accident. State law does allow you to leave the scene of an accident and try and respond and go someplace. But what you have to do then is certain circumstances. Leave, immediately dial 911. Advise 911 that you've just been in an accident. Advise 911 that you believe that they may be robbing you if these are the circumstances that you believe, or that you believe that they're going to be harming you. After talking with 911, likely law enforcement is going to tell you where to go. They're going to direct you to a place. But some of the other options available to you is going to a police station, going to a fire station, or going to another public area. Again, sort of to emphasize here, your safety is the prime concern, and that's why we're sort of trying to address this today, and to put it out there so that we want you to be safe, but we also don't want you to be leaving a scene of the accident. A accident, again, statute says that we have to report accidents, that you can't leave the scene, that you have to render aid if possible. But given circumstances where you may believe that you're threatening, then you do have the right, but you need to immediately dial 911 and talk with law enforcement.
Lieutenant, you said that these victims have all been female. Can you also tell us about any other similarities that you're noticing as far as maybe time of day that they're happening, or type of vehicle that they're stealing?
The type of vehicle has been varied. However, the time of day, it appears to be like nighttime. I would say any time after 7 o'clock going up to around 11 o'clock at night. So it's been that nighttime. We've seen it happen over in our southerly district, which is District 6, going all the way to our northern boundaries, over by our northwest part where it starts going into the downtown area where we've seen what's going on.
Have any of the victims?
In one instance, there was a female, when she realized what was going on, tried to stop the guy from getting into the car. She was grabbed by the face and she was thrown down to the ground. She did get up. She tried to stop the guy from going on, and she was dragged in the car. So yes, she was a little bit injured out of it. For those type of circumstances, we're told the same thing. Don't be grabbing onto a moving car, because you put yourself in danger, because imagine falling and falling under the wheels of that car. What are some of the locations?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a number of them. Around the area of 13th and Oklahoma, there were a few of them. There were some, I remember in our district, and I'm thinking along Cesar Chavez, and another one was over, I think, around Walker's Point. In 4 of the instances, they were able to have get the car, and in 2 of the instances, I know that they got just the purse, or it was an attempt, and for whatever reason, maybe the female reacted properly, the victim acted properly.
You said 6 in the last week?
Yes.
Any others in the rest of Milwaukee?
Not with what we call it sort of the bumping type that's been going on. That's we started seeing it. And one of the things I gave off, you can see that it goes back to 2002 when that alert first came out. So it's not anything new. I can't say that it's really new to Milwaukee, but now it's a trend that unfortunately I think we've identified right now.
Why do you think now? I mean, what is going on that all of a sudden now we're seeing a half a dozen in the last week? Anything going on that would, make us say, okay, that makes sense? That
I don't have an answer for. I wish I did. I wish I knew what the motivation, why they decided to try this technique. But as I say, it seems like they're singling out women right now as the victims.
Can you tell us more about the suspect you have in custody and who else you're looking for?
There was one suspect that was taken into custody. We are looking at a number of other people. I can't go into too much detail about it because it's still an ongoing investigation. We did find that they had driven quite a ways away from this particular area where we ended up arresting him. But we're still looking into it, seeing who all of his associates are.
As far as when these situations happen, how many men jump out of the car, or how many men are in the car? 2, 3, 4, 5?
Again, it varies. We know that in one of the instances, it was one of the stolen cars that was used to do another one. We know that there's at least 2. We believe that there's up to 4, maybe 5, and then they switch over to the different cars. But usually there's 1 or 2 that get out, and it varies per situation on how many get out to go up to that car.
And then have any of these carjackers been armed at all?
At this point, no. We haven't found, they haven't said, in many of the cases, they haven't said anything. All they do is they wait for the victim to get out to look at the damage. They go rushing up, hop in the driver's seat, and then take off. So generally there hasn't been anything said, except possibly in the one where the woman got pushed down and dragged. Probably something no more than get away from the car.
Again, you're hearing from a lieutenant from the 2nd District talking about this crazy carjacking scheme. We just kind of called it like a bump and grab, because basically what's happening is someone is bumping the bumper of a person in front of them, right? Mm-hmm. Gets that victim to stop their car, goes out to investigate the damage, and then all of a sudden you've got 2 suspects coming to carjack your car, and then the other person in the other car drives off.
Seeing it mostly on the south side, this lieutenant said they did see something around Walker's Point. These individuals are targeting women. It's happening mostly at night, 7 o'clock to 11 p.m. He also talked about ways to protect yourself. We are going to have more of that coming up in our story at 6. Milwaukee Police did arrest 1 suspect in a case, but there have been about a half a dozen cases of these in the past week. So,
you really got to be safe.
Pay attention. Yeah, they're also talking about driving away and
not
getting out of your car. Yeah, so all of that, we'll have additional information in our story coming up on Live at 6.